Hi all, welcome to this MuleSoft video. In this video, we are going to see about Flux Gateway in Azure Kubernetes Services. For that, I have registered Azure Kubernetes Services in Azure, and this is a brand new Azure Kubernetes service. And I'm going to follow the steps for adding the Flux Gateway in it and add them. Following that, we will see how you can debug or restart the Flux Gateway or get the logs and enable HTTP application in this video. Probably in the next video, we will see how you can transfer your logs from your local into your ELK and enable HTTPS, a secure connection for your service API or a proxy. Now I have a brand new Azure Kubernetes services. I'm going to connect to my command prompt. So for that, you need to use AZ login. That is Azure. For that, you need Azure CLI. You need to install new local. Then run this two commands. Once you log in into your Azure services, now we are connected. It's ready to use kubectl get pods. There are no parts right now. If you install Flux Gateway, it will be creating a namespace in Azure Kubernetes Services, which is called Gateway, right? So there are no parts now. Now we're going to follow the steps and get the registration done. First thing is you need to have Docker in your local or in a Ubuntu machine. There you need to run these commands. So you need to have a Docker in Ubuntu, then you will be able to run this one. I have already downloaded this image in my local because I have a Docker desktop. Just run this command, you will be able to get the Flux Gateway in your local Docker. Right? This is a pull command of Docker, so that's how it's going to find out this image and pull it from the repository. Now we are going to run this Docker run. That command I've copied it and little modified for Windows because I'm using this folder. This folder is having registration YAML, which I have used long back. So I'm going to remove it, delete. I'm going to delete it from there. And now I'm going to run those commands. Right, for this one, I need to go to Flux Gateway and get the organization and the token ID. This token ID is every time will become new, so I'm copying it and replacing it here for my future organization and token here. So I'm going to replace this token here. It's replaced. Now I'm copying the entire thing, and this Flux Gateway name should be unique, so it is 5 here. So once I run that one, you will see in the Flux Gateway in disconnect mode. So I'm running this. Also, output of this command would be a registration.xml YAML file. So this YAML file is right now 0 KB. It will become around 12 KB. So unsuccessful. So this is successfully done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna here see my Flux Gateway 5. So this is in disconnect mode. Now run the next command, right? Now we can go and say add a gateway for Kubernetes. We can skip for the first two which we have run it already. Now we need to add the Helm repo, Helm charts repo. So Helm chart is nothing but a repository manager to ease the Kubernetes deployment. So now I'm going to add this to my local Flux Gateway. I have already a Flux Gateway added Helm. So env this command will show you where is the repo is available. So you put the temp Helm. So this is the repo. There you have. Initially, you will have only this file, and if you extract it, you will get that file, and this you will get only the tar file. And inside the tar file, you will be able to see this one. values.yaml file. This is what we are interested. So I'll take a while to run through this one. So this YAML file will have a service and an image name. So this is the image name. It's 1.4.2 released on 2 weeks back. There's images and services. Okay, this is a service. It's exposed as a load balancer. For HTTP, it is 80, and HTTPS, it is 443. So this is all what we're interested in Helm chart. Based on this Helm chart, it is going to deploy the it's going to pull out the images and apply these values to the image and deploy it in our Azure Kubernetes services, right? So now I'm going to say Helm repo up. Let me remove this remove Helm repo remove. So Helm repo list will give you this list. Helm repo remove flex gateway. Would remove this one. So now we need to add this to local. This will do that. Now we need to make this run up command. Okay, it's from there. So copy this from here up. Helm run go up. So that is done. Okay, it's done. Now I'm going to run the following command. I'm going to feed registration.xml to that command. So this command I copied it from here. In the local directory, I have a registration.yaml file. Registration.yaml file successfully. So once I do that, your Flux gateway will become active in runtime manager. This is still being deployed. It's creating an ingress service and the load balancer behind it. The images are getting downloaded, and for using the Helm chart, the values are being applied. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is done, and you will see that very shortly your thing will become active and connected. Right? This become connected. Okay, now it's ready to deploy your APIs. In order to deploy your APIs, you need to go to a runtime manager. So the API manager, go there, add a proxy. Yeah, before that, while it is loading, we will see what are the things that is being created in the Flux Gateway. In Azure, this is Azure Kubernetes Service homepage. It has got parts. You can go inside. There is a namespace called Gateway. So if you filter it out, the related parts will be listed to you. So this is the gateway. Now there is one part which is an ingress gateway, right? And if you go to services and ingresses, you will see the services as well. So this is the service where is exposed as a load balancer. Using this IP, you will be able to access your API as well. Now our API manager is up. We are going and here seeing the Flux gateway, connected Flux gateway. Next, create a new API. Go proxy API will create. HTTP. We get the name of the proxy. So it's a go REST API. It's a go rest. Host name. Yeah. Yes. That is that, right? So here you need to put 80 because your load balancer says that you have a service pointed to 80, right? So 80, that's it. We'll leave as HTTP for this demo, but in the next demo we will see to enable HTTPS as well. So this is successful. I'm going to browse the service that is available here. Here we should be able to see this GoRest GraphQL API. It is not yet up, so it's being deployed. We are able to see that GoRest GraphQL API. Now I'm going to pick up some URL here and let us see whether it is mimicking. Right. So it is working beautifully. I'll be able to enable policies for this one. For instance, I can enable the basic authentication. Simple auth, basic authentication, simple. I'll say the username is admin. Now ask for your this, and it will take, I hope, some time to push the changes to the runtime. Yeah, it's asking now admin. This is for this policy is working as well, and we'll add a logging policy for this. For example, if the backend proxy is enabled with basic auth, you need to enable header injection, and you need to feed this basic username and password. Right now, there are no secure store to store your passwords. It's going to be as a plain thing in your policy. You have to feed them as straight. That it's not that advanced yet. So spike control this is logging. So this is the policy where it will log the messages using fluent bit. So I can log this as attributes, anything. So right now I'm going to use payload as string. I'm going to make sure that it's going to convert as JSON. Yeah, this one. See? All right, I'm going to give this one as payload as string. Is that working? Yeah, it's working now. I want to make sure that there is no syntax error when I convert the JSON payload as a string. All right. Okay. Now as payload as Here is this one. Payloads is working. Now I'm going to make this one as, let's give us just a payload, probably payload, then only after calling the API, then apply. I'm going to show you how it looks like inside the Azure, right? So now we know that how we can use kubectl. For example, kubectl get pods and the namespace is gateway. You would see that the gate then this is the pod name that we're getting. So inside that, how we can go inside that pod and see what are the logs. The logs can be seen in the Anyfine platform itself, but how do you see them in the inside, right? So that can be done this way. Yeah, let me go to the command prompt and see going here inside now. Yeah. So using kubectl, we are inside the pod. Now I'm going to list down the file structure inside this one is MuleSoft Flux Gateway, and we can see the fluent bit files and the folder called logs. So inside logs, you can see that there is something called current. Sorry. Oh, come out. Okay. So again, I'll go inside this pod. Let's check what happened to this pod. Inside workloads, let's again try this. If this is not bringing, we will see again what is the pod name. Pod name. If we are inside, then do the same LSA familiar. Temp, also Flux Gateway, and see logs. Here, there's something called current. There is a file. We can see the logs here. For example, if you go on, the logs are enabled, I hope right now. Now logs will be added, appended here. So this has been applied. There are two policies being applied here. Okay. Yeah, see this one. I was trying to find change this payload into a string, but that was not happening. But but the purpose of the video is just to show you how this works, right? So this log can be exported to your external ELK or a Splunk using a config that's going to be in a different video. So I'm going to get out of this folder. So we're good. So this is about log file. The MuleSoft Flux Gateway follows this fluent bit dot this logging framework. So we need to edit this fluent bit config. Once we have apply some configuration here, then it will be able to convey our log file and export our log files into external world. Right now, it is actually into only this, right? Yeah. So this is just to know how you can get to know the thing, right? I'm going to using kubectl. I'm going to delete this one, delete the part. That means if, for example, whenever you have your pods are not responsive, then probably you might need to delete it, right? So pod delete, and then kubectl get pod hyphen gateway. Delete pod hyphen gateway. So if you see this one, it's getting deleted, and it'll immediately it'll recreate the pod. That means it's a kind of restart. But there is a if it is only unresponsive, right? Otherwise, we have command to restart, stop gateway, client gateway. Yeah, this is done. So you will get a new name in which the suffix with something else. Like this is the new name it has got, right? So so if you're using Flux Gateway in Azure Kubernetes Services, these are the things you should know. This can be done. This can be monitored in using Azure Kubernetes Service. Also, it can be managed. For example, if you go this overview, go to the workload inside, you will be able to see workloads. In the next video, I'm going to show you how you can enable HTTPS and how you can do the log forwarding to your ELK. This video, we have seen how you can register your API, how you can register your Flux Gateway into Azure Kubernetes Service. How did you deploy your API, enable like existing policy, and logging as well. Let's see how the logging is coming here. Right? If you go to message log, you will be able to see the same sort of logging here as well. Yeah. So this is my workload, and in here, this is my deployment. Ingress is my deployment. I'll go to the part, and I'll filter the gateway one. Right. I will get the pod name with MMMM. Right. MSM, like the way you'd see here using kubectl. So go inside to the pod. You'll be able to see the live logs. Select a part, and you'll be able to see it. I hope this video is very helpful to you. Thank you very much. Yeah, this is the log, and same error message.